It's Monday, and it's Geeks Gamers Daily. Off of a weekend full of Cobra Cast and Fortnite for me, which there's a direct connection to me playing Fortnite and not making videos, or or playing Fortnite, not making videos, or making videos, not playing Fortnite. So now I've got to start making videos all week long, or Ryan's gonna yell at me. What's up, Ryan?
I'm not gonna say anything. It is what it is. You're in the Fortnite crew. This is you, Jeremy. You are this like fucking single-minded person, like a fucking bird that sees like a shiny object. You're all about that thing for a fucking week. Then you're like, boom, we're on to videos now. New Fortnite update. We're back to fucking Fortnite. Helldivers 2. Yeah, like that's just Jeremy's mindset.
Awesome, so. Well, I mean, it's not really that, because if I didn't have anything to worry about, then I could just make videos and play Fortnite. Then I have all this other shit going on. So even tonight, I'm going to compliment Tim Pool tonight on Cobra Cast.
For getting Trump on.
Yeah, I sent him a $100 super chat.
There you
go.
You
can believe that one.
Wait, so, like, you sent him one.
So when the announcement was made, it's basically set up as a premiere, is what it looked like. Because initially I thought Trump was gonna appear on Timcast, which would have been better for Trump. I think obviously it would have been better than Tim, but Tim did what he could do. You know, he got the best thing.
I could see Trump not wanting to fucking do, like, surrounded by a bunch of other people, like on Tim's show.
Good, though. Like, it would be good for Trump.
It'd be cool to see, but also it would also be like way more fucking chaotic and shit, and you might have like random stupid questions that don't need to be asked in that format. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine what the
chat?
Could you imagine what the live chat would be? Like, holy shit! It'd be a shit show. It'd be wild.
You sent it on the premiere like yesterday or something?
Well, no, whenever it was announced. So it looks like it's set up as a premiere, but it is his Timcast show tonight. So as soon as that link went live, which was on Saturday, I think. Or maybe it was a Friday Cobra Cast. I sent $100 and I'm like, congratulations, Tim. This is huge. Blah, 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 blah.
You should have sent it when there's like 100,000 people fucking watching.
I'll fucking do it tonight.
Okay, so, there you go.
I'm going to be sniping him, so I'm going to be reacting to it. So I'll just do it again tonight. But, he deserves it. I've roasted him enough. But it is Geeks Gamers Daily. Welcome in, everybody. We've got DEI projects to talk about. Woke Hollywood. Have you seen Furiosa? Did you go see it? Are you going to?
It doesn't look like it was made for me.
Yeah, I heard that. Did you like the first one?
It was like Mad Max Fury Road to me was like a kind of a forgettable movie. Like, I thought there was some cool shit and some cool action sequences, but at the end of the day, there was a lot of focus on the character of Furiosa. And if you like that character, you probably like the movie. But I think what people really want is a Mad Max fucking movie. Yeah. And when you just go all out and say, hey, we're not even going to try to bait and switch you this time. We're just going to call it Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, whatever the fuck that means. And people are not giving it the benefit of the doubt. People have been burned too many times by these girl boss movies. And listen, I've heard some people that went and saw it that have good things to say about it. Other people are roasting it. But the truth is, this is the biggest Memorial Day flop, like the biggest Memorial Day failure we've seen in 30 years. And that's not even adjusting for inflation. It's insane. Not since Casper came out in 1995, Jeremy, have we seen a Memorial Day opening weekend that is this low.
That is fantastic. And hey, Hollywood deserves it. And we're going to talk about it. And yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot to be interested in right now with anything that Hollywood's making. It's really bad right now, and it's becoming incredibly irrelevant. Yes, there's a couple of movies and a couple of shows that are going to get some attention this year for sure, but generally speaking, it's a very, very bad year. And I don't even know if next year's looking any better for Hollywood.
I don't even know what the fuck is coming out next year. I haven't even thought about it.
It's really a strange time. And then I heard, did I hear a comment from Netflix that basically said, like, if Barbie and Oppenheimer came out on Netflix, they would have gotten the same amount of attention? Didn't I see that comment?
The Netflix CEO came out and said that,
yeah. I mean, I appreciate that he's trying to hype his business up, but that's 100% bullshit.
Well, I think what he's saying is that what he was trying to say is, listen, if you have good movies and good content, people will find it. is kind of what he was saying about that. So if we put these things that people are interested in, we put it on our platform, we think people would find it and it would blow up. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say. Certainly, when we get the idea of $1.5 billion at the box office, whatever the fuck Barbie ended up making, like that's such a massive, huge number, a tangible number. If we were to hear, say we heard that whatever ticket sales that equates to, if we heard that same number of people, tangible numbers, streamed it on Netflix, we wouldn't view it the same way. You know?
Yeah.
We just wouldn't view it the same way, which is maybe a flaw in the way we view it, but also you can watch a million other things that month on Netflix for that $20 as opposed to the $15 you hand over to go see Barbie once.
And I know you guys are saying my audio's all sync again. I don't know if I can I might go through a different browser or something and see if that works. I may just rejoin through a different browser. And
I
see
don't
if
care.
That works, so
it doesn't bother me.
Well, nothing bothers you except for everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it doesn't bother me, it's like
are you seeing it on your end? Out of sync? It's so weird. I don't know why this
I just
keeps
didn't even
happening.
bother saying it this time because it's been that way for a little while.
Yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, I mean, but there's something to the Barbie Oppenheimer thing with like the kind of a event that it was created by people going out to the theaters. You know, the Barbie stuff. Like, I still haven't seen Barbie. I'm not sure I'm ever going to watch the movie. I'm not sure I need a reason. I don't think there's a reason for me to watch it. It's not made for me. That's the definition of it's not made for me. But it was definitely an event-style film, the same with Oppenheimer. So I can see the point he's trying to make. And at the end of the day, we've seen those types of things happen on Netflix with, like, Squid Games of the world and all that and Stranger Things. So to his point, but those are series, not movies. Have we seen a movie that's really blown up like that on Netflix? I know, like, what was the Chris Hemsworth movie? Like, and that by no means I'm saying
Extraction.
blew up. Yeah, but that was a well-received movie. A lot of people liked it, but it was in no way, shape, or form like this event that was created.
What was that? That one with Sandra Bullock when she was fucking blindfolded?
Oh,
Birdcage or something? Like,
it was Bird something.
Birdcage, I think.
It's where they put the things over their eyes.
Yeah, like I remember some things, like some fucking viral memes and shit that were happening when people were watching that movie.
Yeah.
It happens from time to time.
It was called Bird Poop, according to Andrew. No, Bird Box. Bird Box. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Birdcage, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same shit. Linko Kenobi for $20. I asked myself, what is the point in buying new games? And all we get is this woke diversity nonsense. Might as well just play the old games like Halo, old COD games. Anyway, driving to work and listening in, hail the 199.
Hail.
Thank you, Linko Kenobi.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be playing Black Ops 1 very soon. Private lobbies for Black Ops 1. So we're getting that all set up, and I'm looking forward to it. I will say Black Ops 6 is looking. There's a lot of it. I have interest in Black Ops 6. I mean, it looks like they've put 4 years of development into this game, which is incredibly rare. It's Treyarch, which is better than Infinity Ward at this point. And Treyarch's obviously always been better in my opinion. But yeah, they've put 4 years of development in it, and the marketing is really fucking good. So we'll see. I'm at least interested. But Black Ops 1, back when COD was great, we're going to be playing that. So I can't wait for that one.
There you go. Shock Morrow for $5. I keep watching Jeremy stream snipe Beardo playing Metal Gear Solid. I definitely broke 4 ribs laughing since Saturday. LOL.
Yeah, that was awesome. So we had a lot of fun. Yeah, more of that in the future for sure, probably.
I heard Beardo may not have understood that it's a stealth-based game.
Yeah, dude, he's like aggressively running into every room. He's played the fucking Arkham games before. Like, there's some elements that you can take from that. But yeah, it was hilarious. It was amazing. So
Metal Gear Solid is like pure stealth, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At least in Batman, if you're playing one of those fucking stealth missions, it's like somebody catches you, throw a smoke pellet, fucking swing around a couple times. You know, all right, fucking restart this shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Metal Gear, like, especially the first couple, are like it's super stealth based. You get spotted, you're kind of fucked.
I see you guys are noticing Soul Calibur 2 on the TV. That's right. Soul Calibur 2 in the house. But yeah, more of those types of reactions yeah, in the future. That was fun.
Prometheus Creations for 10. George can't save Star Wars. Only the fans. IP needs to go public domain. You'll see a change of the wind when that happens. Enough said. That won't go public domain until let's see, 2072 or something like that.
We'll all be dead.
So yeah, I'm not planning on staying around that long. Fuck. I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's the GameCube version with Link.
Chris Coran for 2. The A Team for Memorial Day. Yes, it is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day out there for everybody. If you got a day off of work, you got to sleep in or something, maybe you're planning on grilling out, you know, that's fucking awesome. It's the day we remember the people that didn't come back, you know, the people that did sacrifice everything, the people that you don't get to, you know, find in the grocery store or the bank or whatever and shake their hand and say thank you for their service. They don't have that opportunity anymore. This is the day for them and their family and friends and loved ones. So think about that on Memorial Day. Alex Popa for Romanian $10. I don't know. 2 of my favorite words have 2 GGs in the middle. Hey, you know, maybe that's why Jeremy created G&G. Iram Amin for 20,000 Indonesian rupees. Nobunaga once said, Yasuke, where's my bike? Animated Andy for 245. Jeremy admitted you're jealous of Tim P right now.
Not at all. I said this on my stream. I said, because people were complaining that like Tim only got 17 minutes. And I'm like, that's not Tim's decision. You think Tim wouldn't take 2 hours of Trump in his studio? Of course he would. That's on Trump, not Tim. And also, I would much rather Tim Pool get a Trump interview in person at his studio than me, because it would get more attention for Trump. It just would. There'll be a ton of viral clips and everything. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Ryan, because when I was talking about that, I was like, I remember when Tim had Alex Jones on, and this was before Alex Jones made his return to kind of like the public kind of consciousness or whatever, you know. And he had like 100,000 people watching when Alex Jones was on Tim Pool. And this was, obviously, Rogan had Alex on, but Rogan had kind of distanced himself at that point. But then Tim had Alex Jones on. And that's kind of what started the Alex Jones trend of kind of appearing on people's channels, it felt like. And then, obviously, now Alex is kind of back. Was there any other big appearances from Alex?
Was that the one where he did the fucking anime power-up thing?
There was, well, he's been on there multiple times now. But that particular one, I can't remember. I think so, actually. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that Tim creates these viral moments with these big guests that circulate online. That's why Trump being in his studio would be incredible.
Do you remember the when they were in the RV with Alex and Joe Rogan?
Yes,
like that was crazy,
insane.
Yeah,
freaking Blair White sitting next to Alex Jones. It was so funny.
Yeah,
that was wild. That was wild.
Valiant Renegade Online for $4.99 says good morning 199.
What's up, Valiant Renegade Online?
He's taking the Jeremy Griggs approach. Starting a couple more channels. I guess we got to get into this this Furiosa flop. Let's see if I can.
Furiosa flop. That's not surprising to anybody. By the way, it looks like we have a new holding screen over on Rumble. And as much as we'd love to give Ryan credit for creating that new graphic and taking all the time and effort and energy, it's just a standard Rumble graphic.
Yeah, it used to be you had to upload something, which was whatever. Now it allows you to not upload anything and it just generates something, which I'm like, oh, fuck, well, let's try that. Everybody's always bitching about that shit. So it's fucking fixed. Find something else to complain about. Speaking of Rumble, Vault 95 Survivor for $1. I was fine with Fury Road. The worst part of the film was finding those old-ass women in the desert. Soundtrack was decent. Ryan's looking forward to Ironheart next year. That will save Hollywood. Yeah, Ironheart, which was filmed in like 2021 or something, is not going to be released until 2025. So I don't exactly know how that's going to work, but speaking of things that are happening this year, 2024 in Hollywood has not been great. It's actually been a complete and total disaster at the box office for theaters and for Hollywood. And Memorial Day weekend, one of these weekends that historically you usually see a massive number, a lot of movies try to get that target. That's like one that people really want, that Memorial Day weekend, that long weekend, kids are getting out of school, like all this stuff. That is a prime time for Hollywood. Not this year. Apparently, no one is fucking interested. And it's all about Furiosa. Now, the mainstream media, when they found out that they were going to have a standalone Furiosa movie, not one where she was kind of slid into a Mad Max movie, it's hard to believe Fury Road was almost a decade ago. 9 years ago is when Fury Road actually released.
It's crazy.
And even though you hear people talk about it pretty fondly, at the time, it didn't do a lot at the box office. Mad Max Fury Road, $370 million at the worldwide box office, off a $150 million budget. So probably didn't break even at the box office. Maybe, back when they sold fucking DVDs and Blu-rays, maybe scrape back to even potentially, but certainly not at the box office. So what would be a great idea? Take Mad Max out of the movie entirely, just make it about Furiosa, and spend more money on it. $170 million budget. What's the result, Jeremy? Furiosa and Garfield lead slowest Memorial Day box office in decades. And not just in like 1 decade or two, the worst in 29 years. Furiosa, the Mad Max prequel starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth, claimed the first place spot for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend with $25 million. And you add in the Monday that it's going to get, probably 31 or 32 million. To put that in perspective, even the failure known as Black Little Mermaid had like, what an $80-90 million opening weekend on Memorial Day?
Yep.
This is a third of that. This is horrific.
What do you think would have happened if a Mad Max movie with Mel Gibson comes out this weekend? What do you think's going to happen at the box office?
Listen, I can't tell you it'd be fucking 90 or $100 million, but I know one thing.
It'd be more than this shit.
More than Furiosa.
Yeah.
It'd be way more than Furiosa.
It would.
Shockingly, fans of the Mad Max franchise want to see Mad Max in a movie, not Furiosa. And look at this. Aside from Memorial Day in 2020, when theaters were closed due to COVID-19, these are the lowest earnings for a #1 movie in 29 years. Since Casper earned $22.5 million, not adjusted for inflation in 1995. Whew. So I have no idea how bad it is if we actually factor in the inflation, because $22 million in 1995 is way more than the $25 million or the 31 that is suspected to go over the entire weekend. It's insane to think about how horrifically, historically bad it is. And internationally, it's bad too. Furiosa opening action muted with $59 million global debut. Why didn't it strong arm the marketplace? And to me, this says a couple things. One, people are not willing to give movies as big of a chance. They're not willing to give Hollywood the benefit of the doubt as much now as they were before, especially not when it comes to girl boss movies.
Yep.
Like people are just, they see it. They're like, I've been burned too many fucking times. Look at this character from this franchise that I actually care about the male lead in it. I don't really care about this character. I'm not going to watch this.
Well, it's just like right now at this point in time, and we've talked about this, there is more content out there across the board to get people's attention now. You've got the internet, you've got video games, you've got streaming, you've got just so many things that people can be doing right now. Video games are bigger than they've ever been. They're also worse than they've ever been in a lot of ways, but the video game industry is bigger than it's ever been. Streaming services, massive. And then you've added so many streaming competitors to it. And so, of course, there's a lot more that's taking people's attention. That's fine. You're going to see a step back in the industry just because of how the evolution of the internet has happened and all of that. But when you look into the fact that Hollywood doesn't even try anymore, they're putting out they're not even putting good stuff out. It would be one thing if they're putting bangers out every other few months and you're starting to see a massive decline in the box office, but it's not even that. They're not even putting good movies out consistently. They're putting dog shit out. So the combination of putting dog shit out and then you know, the fact that there's so many other options out there leads you down this path right here. And that's where we are. And it's not going to get any better. Yes, Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine's going to come out. It's going to be a big hit. That's perfect. That's going to be one of the few hits of the year. But generally speaking, it's not just because there's more things for people to choose from. It's the fact that Hollywood's just putting out a really bad product consistently with their agenda-driven nonsense, and people are just rejecting it. It's not getting any better.
Yeah, like the fact that there is so many more things, it's a factor. But the biggest factor is that of all of those things they want to do, the worst option of them all is watching one of these movies for the people. Yeah. You know, if they were giving them good things to choose from, they would be choosing to go and see that. And when it comes to the Garfield movie, which may damn well actually take #1 when it's all said and done, when the official numbers come in for Monday, but the Garfield movie can afford to have a $30 million opening. It only costs $50 or $60 million to make. So, like, that's reasonable. That's okay. You can actually make money on something like that. When you spend $170 million on a spin-off girl boss movie in a franchise where people only care about the main character, it's not even when you spend more money on this one than you did on the last one that probably didn't even break even at the box office. It's not good business sense. Like, anybody could tell you that. And we are seeing the collapse of Hollywood. We've witnessed it for the past several years. We've been talking about it for the past several years, and now it's just come full circle. And it's an embarrassing Memorial Day, usually a tentpole weekend to kick off massive summer movies. And that was not Furiosa this weekend.
And it makes me sad too. I mean, I hate the idea that movie theaters may not be a thing in the future. I love going to the movies. I love the event feel for a huge movie that you're looking forward to seeing, but we're losing that quickly. I mean, I was worried movie theaters weren't going to survive past COVID, but I'm glad that they're still around. But as long as there's just not a good product out there, there's not going to be a reason for people to go. And I could see a world where theaters are going to be a lot more rarer than they have been in the past. And that's a sad thing.
Theaters have already changed. Like, we've already gone through this change over the past 5 to 10 years where theaters stop being crammed full of as many people as you can, uncomfortable chairs, to, okay, we're going to have, instead of being able to put 250 people in this thing and charge them $7 a ticket, we're going to get these big comfy chairs. It's going to be like a luxury. You lean back, you got your space. Everybody picks where you're sitting 2 days before you actually go. It's going to cost fucking more, but it's like a different experience. We've already seen that, and now it's just continuing to slide. And for the theaters themselves, that'd be a tough business to be in right now, because despite, like, it doesn't matter. See, you get a Garfield or something like that on a controlled budget that doesn't need to make as much. The Garfield movie might end up making money. You know who won't? Theaters.
Yep.
And it's a sad state of affair for them, for sure.
And it's not going to get any better as this year progresses. You'll see, like, again, Deadpool Wolverine's going to come out.
Despicable Me 4, I think, is going to be massive. If I was betting, I'd say that movie ends up being the biggest movie of the year, box office wise.
Yeah, I think it's definitely between that and Deadpool. And again, we talked about that, about Deadpool being rated R. It's going to have a lot of viral moments and really generate that kind of event feel. And it can happen. I mean, I don't think anyone saw Barbie and Oppenheimer doing what they did last year. I think we all expected Barbie to be a pretty big hit. I don't think anybody expected it to be the hit that it was. And then, of course, Oppenheimer, which no one expected that movie to make the money it made. So there's going to be potential surprises out there, but it's hard to see what that's going to be outside of the two that we just mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. You do have what is that Pixar movie coming out? Inside Out 2?
Inside Out 2, yeah.
And yeah. I think that'll be like a bounce back for Pixar in a little bit of a way. But I don't know what it's going to do. I certainly don't think it's going to do what Despicable Me 4 is going to do. But those movies are insane because they're so cheap. They make those movies for like $80-90 million, and they just fucking cash in $1 billion at the box office.
Yep.
Whereas Pixar's out here spending $250 million on dog shit. And
shout out to Lightyear. That movie did really well. Shout out to Chris Evans, not a movie star. Chris Evans is going to run back to Captain America at some point in time. Like, think about how irrelevant he is. He is absolutely irrelevant without Captain America.
How much money do you think he made in his entire run at Marvel?
Wow, that's a good question because he, as much as he's a star in that role, he just doesn't draw anything outside. I really wouldn't even know. I mean, obviously Robert Downey Jr., we know he made a fuck ton as Iron Man. He negotiated some really good contracts. I don't know. I really don't know. I would imagine that first Captain America movie, he probably didn't make a lot for that one. He probably did pretty well for after that.
Right, like, yeah, after Avengers and everything like that.
Yeah.
The first couple things I can find are they estimate that he made potentially like $75 million over the course of the MCU. And I mean, he was in what? Captain America, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron,
Civil
War, Infinity War, Endgame. Right?
Yeah,
Am I missing any?
Is that right? I think that's the ones.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I think I will criticize him as being not a real movie star because he's not, but damn, he was great in that role. Like he was an amazing Captain America. But I would say that sounds about right for him for that role because he doesn't bring any kind of attention for anything outside of that. Robert Downey Jr. is honestly not as big of a star as we perceive him to be. Like
No,
he is a big star, but
he's
not
a big star. But like when you look at him, you see Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. He's not Tom Cruise.
he gave the Chris Hemsworth just got a Hollywood Walk of Fame star a couple days ago, and Robert Downey Jr. kind of did his introduction thing, and he's just fucking Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Like he just is. That's who he fucking is.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I like Robert Downey Jr. He was great in Oppenheimer and stuff like that. But you know, we get really obsessed with who has the star power, who's the star power. Almost all these guys have flops at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know, when Robert Downey Jr. goes to do Doolittle or some shit like that, it is what it is. But I don't know what Chris. I also wonder when you get that much money for a lot of these guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to get involved in some massive franchise, or do you just want to do things that you want to do? Which for Chris Evans probably just suck dick. I don't know.
I feel like Chris Evans wants to be famous because of the way he carries himself on the political side. Like I feel like he wants to be a bigger deal than he is. Like the way he does all his political propaganda bullshit. Like no one gives a fuck about him outside of Captain America. But when he tweets,
does he tweet a lot about that shit?
He's made it known how vocal he is about his left-wing politics. Like that's like
yeah, but you got guys like Mark Ruffalo who are actually activists that. You know,
he's not as crazy as Mark Ruffalo, but again, so I think that he's closer to Mark Ruffalo than he is Robert Downey Jr. in terms of that. I don't know Robert Downey Jr.'s politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know Chris Hemsworth's politics. I know Chris Evans' politics.
Does Chris Evans even have a Twitter?
He did a long time ago. He probably got rid of it because of Elon. He's probably one of those fucking fat people. I couldn't think of a different word to describe it.
Fat people.
It's another FA word I would like to associate with Chris Evans.
Yeah, I had to say that on I don't know if it was Sports Wars or what stream I was doing yesterday. I did the same fucking thing. I really wanted to describe someone a certain way, and yeah, didn't really. Had to be very, very careful.
Does he not have a Twitter? Does he not have a Twitter anymore?
I don't.
What a loser, dude. So he's probably one of these people that couldn't have a Twitter account because he didn't want to be associated with Elon Musk's Twitter.
But that's why I asked the question, because I don't really.
He used to tweet a lot, and he used to go viral as fuck for his tweets, his anti-Trump tweets and all that shit. He used to get a ton of traction. He used to get
18 million followers on Instagram, but he's only got. Again, he only has 5 posts up. Is that possibly 6 posts up on Instagram? How is this possible?
He used to tweet a lot. I know that.
And that's why I asked, like, specifically him, like, I wonder what he wants to do. Because when you look at somebody, if he wants to be a fucking like superstar influencer, Look at this shit. Chris Evans, no Twitter account, 18 million followers on Instagram, has 6 posts. And they're all about his fucking dogs and shit.
I have to imagine that. He might have removed a bunch. Maybe he's changed since he got married to his beard. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't he get married?
I think he got engaged.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's married or not.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Well,
Anyway,
he's still
that
gay.
was the Chris Evans. That was the gay white rapper segment. I actually would no shit. I would love if in Deadpool and Wolverine that Chris Evans comes back as the Human Torch. I would love that shit.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Like, and Deadpool could make a fucking joke about Captain America in it, like whatever, and he could make a gay joke too as he goes flame on. It'd be perfect. Like, God, it would be so perfect if Chris Evans like returned in that way.
It would, and honestly, I'd respect the hell out of it. I'd be like, okay, that's cool.
Samwise GG for 11 euros. I got proper into WWE now, watching multiple times a week. Best part is when my wife is in the kitchen, she can tell who's coming on by the music they're playing.
Nice.
LMFAO. I'm converting her. Ryan Gay.
Ryan Gay. Hey, that's awesome, man. Watch some old school stuff. It's really good. Watch like I think Raw started in 1993. And somebody super chatted me and said that they started the journey of like watching Raw all the way from 93 all the way up into the Attitude Era. And if you binge that would be incredible to witness the evolution of Monday Night Raw from the 93 days all the way to the Attitude Era. That would be fucking awesome.
Prometheus Creations for $25. We'll have new videos this week. Going to go in depth with each long-term project per video. Want to know what people's opinions are and what one they would like done the most? Make sure to sub to get notified. Check out Prometheus Creations.
Keep up the good work.
CJ for 5. Ryan, not to bore the geeks and gamers here, but what are those baseballs behind you? Signed? Caught foul balls? Those are all signed. I have like probably 100 fucking signed baseballs somewhere in storage right now. But yeah, I've got like Trevor Hoffman, San Diego Padres closer. I've got Ryan Sandberg. I got Fergie Jenkins. Yeah, that's just a handful. But no, those aren't caught. Those are signed by people in person. Valiant Renegade for $5. Valiant Renegade Online's the live show clip channel. Link. There you go.
So I've done that before. I'm signed into a different account and I'll go comment and I'm like, shit. You know,
well, Jay was scared. Jay thought he signed in as like park hopping or something when he sent a super sticker on Friday.
Oh, I heard. And you're like, if it's spend Jeremy's money, it's fine. Fuck him.
Yeah, that'd be fine. No worries. The Riddler for 5. Furiosa bombed because people thought it was going to be woke. Glad to report it wasn't. Damage has been done. Should have released another date. Well, I don't think the date would have anything. This is a fucking fantastic time for movies. This is a coveted release time for movies. So I don't think the date has anything to do with it. But
yeah, I mean, ultimately, if people are scared of wokeness, and I think, again, you go back to, we talked about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 a lot. I think a lot of people were reluctant to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because they were like, well, if it's another Marvel piece of shit, who cares? Because Marvel's in such a bad way. Obviously, word of mouth carried it. I don't think that's going to happen here, Furiosa. I just don't see that elevating it anymore, even though people are saying it's not woke, it's not bad. Too many people have tuned out to a lot of this stuff because of what we've seen in the last several years.
Oak Barrels for 5. Last week, I scared Fear the Reading Problem with my Assassin's Creed Black Fig super chat. Sorry about that. Let's just call it AC Black Melanie Macword. Hail the 199.
Hail the 199.
Jay Watt for 5. Nick from Second Win sent his followers to Wix to report Smash JT's website, who's exposing Nick for doxing Grums. That sounds complicated. There's a lot of retarded shit going on right now for people that are fighting on social media. I can't say I know what the fuck's going on there.
I was talking about it last night on CobraCast as far as just like There's just so much shit going on online. It just makes me want to just talk to less and less people and just, keep my little tight knit circle here. Like, it is wild right now, and it ain't gonna get any better. It's only gonna get worse leading into the election. But Nick that's his name? Nick Calandra from Second Wind. I think that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I saw some of that shit playing out. It's so stupid. The Riddler for $5. Theater experience too expensive. It's a home away from home, like a nerd like me, but not for most. In SoFlo, we still have cheap theaters. I mean, you can find some. I tend to go to, and you can find some stuff, especially during the afternoon, like matinees during the week. You still find cheap shit for sure, even at the nice theaters. Louis for $5. Thank you. Doesn't say anything. Hope that had reveals.
It says nothing.
Taker, did Furiosa have Immortum Butker in it? I don't think so. Maybe. Spider-Claw for 10. Deadpool and Wolverine most likely won't hit $1 billion. While there are excited people, there's also people like myself who refuse to care. Can't trust anyone involved. Also, happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
It's really tough.
It's
an
going
R-rated
to come
movie
down
hitting
to
$1 billion is not a normal. That is a very fucking rare occurrence.
How many have hit $1 billion? Is it only like 2?
Joker.
Oppenheimer didn't. It came close, but it didn't do it. Is that it? Is there another?
Maybe
I thought there was one more. I thought there was one more that hit, and I think Joker's the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. There's one more.
I think didn't it overtake Deadpool though, which made like 800 million? So I don't know if any others have.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah, it's the only one. Here's the list. I'll show you the list here. Joker.
There it is. Okay.
$1 billion. Oppenheimer, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool.
There you go.
Matrix Reloaded. It did a lot. It did 700 million a couple years ago. Detective Chinatown 3. Man, I can't believe I missed that one. It's the direct sequel to Detective Chinatown 2, by the way. Passion of the Christ did a lot. Logan did a lot. But it's a lot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, this is different. This is different than a normal R-rated movie. This is a character that has done well previously, and people really like the character. It's a character we haven't seen in a long time, like Wolverine. Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. So there's a lot of other factors to consider. But man, asking it to hit $1 billion is a lot, which is why I wonder what the fucking budget is on this thing.
Yeah. Again, it's going to be interesting, and that's the only discussion we're really having this year about movies. Again, we're going to talk about. We will do the predictions on the Minions movie, but I think that one's pretty solidly going to hit $1 billion, or at least it's going to be the top grossing movie of the year, potentially. Either that or Deadpool Wolverine. Those are the two movies. Is there any other movie that even has a chance at being in that discussion this year? And I don't see it if there is. Joker 2, I guess, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You have the sequel to Joker, but asking it to recreate the magic from the first one is, I think it'll do well. But in terms of
it's going to do well.
$1 billion, I don't know.
Regardless of like how you feel about Lady Gaga, she's a big star, and now again, her being a big star in isolation means nothing going into a movie. But her being a big star going into a movie that did $1 billion already, that does add something to it. I'm not saying it's going to do more because I don't see that at all, but.
If it's got to be good, right? That's the reason the first one took off the way it did, because it was so good and people kept talking about it and like, holy shit, you got to go see this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fu Man Blue for $5. Now Jeremy's brain pumps the brakes every time his lips try to make the F sound. Tamura's Counterattack for $5. Yo, Jeremy's saying fucking fat people. Me and my girlfriend were tolling. Also, One Piece is pretty big for Netflix.
One Piece was big. Yeah.
It was fairly big for them.
Yeah, it was. It was. But again, that's another series. Like outside of the Sandra Bullock movie that you brought up, which there's never I can't recall a movie popping that big on Netflix. It's always been series.
Eric John Pizza Artist for 10. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Jeremy, have you watched Band of Brothers yet? It's the best thing ever put on TV, and I know you'll love it.
I haven't watched Band of Brothers. A lot of people want me to watch it, so I'm definitely.
I think it's on Max.
Is it on Max?
Okay. I think so, yeah.
Because that was an HBO show, right? And I never really had HBO a lot. Like that's why I was a late bloomer to like Game of Thrones because I didn't have HBO. Like, you know, and so I watched this Game of Thrones. Started watching Game of Thrones in like season. Well, it was. I think it was in season 5 when I started binging through it.
What do you think about Luka Doncic? What do you think about Luka Doncic? I love Luka Doncic because it gives every fucking just normal white dude out there hope because he's kind of just fucking slow. He doesn't look like he's in great shape, yet he just fucking cooks these guys on the floor. So I love Luka Doncic. I listen, they're up 3-0. We've never seen a team come back from 3-0 in NBA history. So in all likelihood, it's going to be the Boston Celtics for the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. And I'm excited. I would love it for Luka to get a ring and for Kyrie to get another one. I think that'd be an interesting storyline against his former team in Boston.
Who's the MVP front runner? Or who's the MVP this year?
Who
won the
Nikola
MVP?
Jokic won again.
Okay. And where was Luka at in it? Like, was he up for consideration?
He was probably, I don't know. I know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was second. So for OKC, Luka was probably, if I'm guessing, like 3rd or 4th. He had a great season, but I mean, look,
I've been completely checked out of NBA, man. Completely. I heard the playoffs were fantastic, though. I heard the playoffs have been really good.
They have been, and again, maybe not for like a general like normie audience, because guess what? After the first fucking round, no LeBron, no Steph Curry, no Kevin Durant, like none of these old names. So it might not, I don't think it's going to draw the eyes, and I certainly don't think the Dallas Mavericks being in there going to draw the eyes either. But in terms of basketball, it's been fun to watch. Some interesting players emerging that are going to be faces of the league for the next couple of years as soon as LeBron fucking either retires or dies. Doncic was 3rd. So Luka was 3rd in MVP voting.
Okay.
Lower Lips Liquor for 10. Have you ever played any of the old Wizardry games? I played number 4 on the SNES. PS has the original remake from the Apple II. You can play the updated or old school versions. Came out last week.
I don't know what
the fuck you're talking about.
I mean, I'm on Super Nintendo. I'll have to look into it.
I'm not sure.
Wizards and Warriors on the NES, though, baby. Let's go. I want to play that again. It's been a long time. Wizards and Warriors, very, very underappreciated.
Well, if you are excited,
if it's an old school RPG, that's why I never really played a lot of RPGs. Go ahead.
If you are excited for gaming, there's some people that are excited for new games coming out. Insomniac working on that Wolverine game. Some people are excited about that. But as we've talked about, as Jeremy goes off camera, as we've talked about over the last couple months, we have had this massive explosion in controversy surrounding DEI infesting all these different video games. And it started, well, it didn't start, but it kicked off with the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy. And it's been going on for months and months. People are very sensitive to this stuff. And quite frankly, they're tired of these massive studios, these AAA companies that are injecting woke bullshit into every possible game. Well, if you were excited about the Wolverine game that's, set to be released in the next few years, slow your roll. Marvel's Wolverine associate narrative director Mary Kenny says every lever must be pulled to push disordered LGBTQ plus agenda. And of course, this is from an interview over here on Dual Shockers. We need to pull every lever we have. Insomniac's narrative director discusses lack of LGBTQ content in video games. Here we go. Associate narrative director at Insomniac Games, who's working on the upcoming Marvel's Wolverine game, Mary Kenny, declared that every lever must be pulled in order to push the LGBTQ plus agenda. Speaking with Dual Shockers about a recent GLAAD report bemoaning the lack of LGBTQ plus characters in video games, Kenny described the report as heartbreaking. She also stated the GLAAD report tells us something key. Games are a way for LGBTQ people to socialize, but it also tells us something heartbreaking. That LGBTQ plus gamers don't feel developers are thinking of them when they design games. There are so many gay developers. That's not a surprise. And we want what players want, to design experiences that tell the player we're here. We're important and we belong. We need to pull every lever we have, characters, community support, mechanics, to make it so. Does that inspire hope for you?
I'm so
Jeremy,
fucking tired of these fucking freaks running their mouth, pushing this bullshit into it, inventing fake narratives, inventing fake agendas, acting like that you're some type of like people that are held by. Nobody gives a fuck about your sexuality. Nobody gives a shit. No one's sitting there walking around trying to go, what do you do? Who do you fuck? Who do you sleep with? No one gives a shit. These people have defined their entire existence off of their sexuality, which makes people hate you because no one gives a shit what you do in the privacy of your own home. Nobody cares. No one's asking these questions. Nobody. You don't walk up to people and tell them what your bedroom kinks are. That's never been a thing. And the moment you start doing it, it doesn't matter if you're gay. It doesn't matter if you're straight. People are going to go, you're a fucking freak. I don't give a shit. I don't care who you sleep with. Like, imagine going to work at your day job and going, hey, you know what me and my wife did last night? To a random group of fucking people sitting in the break room eating their lunch. Nobody gives a shit. They're all going to go, what the fuck's wrong with this freak? And then everybody's going to start judging that weirdo. That's what people think when you start bringing your sexual identity up. Nobody gives a shit. You're a fucking freak. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I mean, this is somebody who's, worked on the Miles Morales game as well, and we saw a couple things that were inserted there that seemed completely nonsensical. One of my favorite clips that got out on Twitter was of when Miles, one of the fucking missions is to help some gay dude ask another gay dude to prom.
Yeah.
Just weird shit like that, right? That gets inserted in these games for this reason. This is the specific reason. Because you got a lot of activists in game developing who are gay. So they feel the need to push all of their shit into all these games where it may or may not necessarily belong. And again, it's just, these people have so much power and they're not going to let it go. They're going to push their agenda at all opportunities. But right now is the worst opportunity for them, or the worst moment for them to do it, because so many people are hypersensitive right now to any hint of DEI or wokeness agenda infesting video games.
And they should be. You should all, everything that comes out, we should be hypersensitive to it because they've done this to the entire industry. And people are sick and tired of it. And again, I just go back to, like, it's just a natural reaction to anybody that wants to tell you their sexual desires. When people go online, like the Raylos are weird argument. You remember, like, I was talking about this. People are like, what do you mean they're weird? I mean, they're fucked up and weird. They're putting their sexual fantasies online. No one cares. When people talk about their sexual fantasies in a public setting, you are going to be judged harshly. I don't care who it's with and who you're doing it with. When you put your sexual fantasies out onto the internet, people are going to judge you and meme you and roast you and make fun of you, as they should. It doesn't matter who it's with. That is a fucked up thing to do, and it's not normal, and you're going to be memed for it. The internet is not a nice place. And it's an even brutal place when you put your sexual fucking fetishes and fantasies out there for everybody to roast. Good Lord. Shut the fuck up about who you sleep with. No one cares. That's it.
Yep. T-Dog for 5. I agree the gender baiting in Fury Road was wrong. Furiosa's not a girl boss. She had flaws. Listen to Mac's advice and had to be saved. Spider Claw for 2. People using my name for Beardo. Make it a thing. What?
I don't know.
Joe Pike for 5. A cousin of mine was one of the main programmer developers in the new Fortnite season, Wrecked.
Probably
can
Fortnite.
Try getting you guys in contact with him if you want. Or Fortnite season.
Yeah. This new. So Wrecked is the new season, and it's. I mean, I appreciate it. I don't really care to talk to a lot of the people involved with stuff like this. Plus, I'm programmed to think they're all going to hate me anyway. Because I'm sure that Epic Games has a lot of developers there that just would absolutely hate my guts. But Wrecked is I don't think that this is going over as well as they want it to with the fan base. I fucking love it, and it's basically Mad Max. Fortnite is all it is. It's fucking crazy. It's a completely different game with the update. Completely. It's just Mad Max Twisted Metal meets Fortnite is all it is. I spend 90% in the vehicle just driving around killing people, and it's fucking awesome.
Chaos Merchant, member for 9 months. Speaking of baguettes, is Gary going to let you use gamer words on FNT uncensored on Rumble? I don't know. I can tell you that I personally won't be. I'll be treated the same way I would if I were on YouTube because, quite frankly, I obviously give no shits. If you see me in real life or you talk to me in real life, I will say a lot of shit that I'm not allowed to on YouTube. I'll express the same opinions, but the words I'll be using will be different. But what I don't need is some of these fucking retards, these fucking losers, clipping me saying some shit like that, just spamming it and spreading around, trying to get me deplatformed. So
you're gonna what you might see is like different topics discussed that we probably it can't discuss on YouTube, but I'm not gonna go over to Rumble and say like things that I say in real life, that I don't say on YouTube. I'm just not gonna do it. In all honesty, and again, I try not to say some of the words that
he used to until he met me.
Yeah, well, okay, so fuck you because you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a lot of these words. Like I rehabilitated myself. Okay, I stopped saying the baguette word a lot. All right, because I used to say it like it was like anybody else, any normal person. We used to say that shit all the time. It's just a
substitute for lame.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'm on the internet, and it's just like anything else. Like when I know a YouTuber's real name, but in public, I still call them their YouTube name because I don't want to program myself to say their real name on a stream. So I'm like, let me just program it to say where I don't say this. But yeah. And then, of course, the whole Munchie Ninja situation.
That's right.
Oops.
But it was true because, like, when Jeremy met me, we were like talking on the phone and everything. I never rehabilitated myself. What the fuck? I was in the military. Rehabilitated myself from saying naughty words. I didn't do that shit. I hold back when I'm on the internet. But yeah. So he's like, I had stopped using that word for a long time until I fucking met you.
It is a great word. It's a great word.
There's no replacement.
It's a great word.
There's no replacement for it. Like you can say queer like really aggressively. I've done that a couple times, but there's no real good replacement for that word. Taker for 5. Jeremy, you remember Goldust and Roddy Piper's Hollywood backlot brawl at WrestleMania 12?
Oh, yes.
One of my earliest WWF memories from back in the day.
Was that Goldust's first match? I can't remember if that was his first match, but that was early on in the Goldust run. But I 1000% remember that. I remember that vividly.
CJ,
if that wasn't his first match, it was definitely in his first couple of years that happened.
CJ for $10. After George Lucas' recent comments on the story losing its way, I've let Star Wars go. It just all feels like woke non-fan fiction at this point. I have a lot of hope for the future of Fallout. Well, there you go. Yeah, maybe we'll get in more of George Lucas's comments tomorrow. It happened so long ago, it feels like, but it is still relevant to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Little Dick Nick for 199. Ryan, I'm edging my monster to boost mental clarity. And shout out. Little Dick Nick.
That picture of George Lucas is such a Chad picture. He just looks like a badass right there. Like that's the guy that changed the fucking industry right there.
It looks like he should be really hot in that.
Yeah.
It looks like he's in a fucking desert.
Yeah.
Butter Biscuit for 2. Curse you, Ryan. Go Boston. Hey. Dingus for 5. Dad and little bro just surprised me with a PS5. First current gen console I've had since the PS2. Can't wait to grab myself a nice cup of Liberty. Hey, there you go. Hope you enjoy it.
That's going to be awesome.
Prometheus for 5. Wolverine. Go woke, go broke. Crispy Nokin for 10. Took 2 L's last week. I missed Chris Hemsworth when punching out from work, and I got to meet Lee Sung Jae from Squid Game, but I didn't get a pic with them. Take a swig of water for the working man.
Swig of water right there.
I'd like to shake Chris Hemsworth's hand. I'd do that.
Seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, he seems a little more
down to earth.
A little more down to earth, and I don't think he spends a ton of time in Hollywood proper. I think he spends a lot of time back in Australia, maybe. So I don't know. Golden Nuggets for 2. When We see you. We just don't care. F off. It's Lizzo. Yeah, I just put out a video about that. CJ, worst part about woke is when it doesn't even make narrative sense. In Tales of the Empire, the Inquisitor kills 30 innocent civilians, yet she doesn't want to misgender the dead corpse. What? You got to respect these freaks' pronouns as you're murdering them. Life on Marshmallows for 2. Unreal Engine coding to use inclusive language. Sweet. Deadly Raver for 5. Preach, brothers, preach. The people can't think past their underwear. They have the nerve to hate people who won't validate them. Get the fuck out.
Those comments about the Wolverine game, and it's so fucking frustrating, man. I'm so sick of these people, and they're not going, like, they're just going to continue to do this over and over again. Like, I can't imagine how bad. When's the Acolyte coming out?
June 4th.
Okay, I can't imagine how horrible the reaction is going to be to this, and I feel like Lucasfilm's going to play classic victim card bullshit with it too. It's going to be so ridiculous.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Spider Claw for $2. I meant fear the reading problem, Ryan. I started. Oh, well, there you go. I'll make sure to give you credit. Lex Ludendi for 5. 2 things I observe in June. Men's Mental Health Month and Month of the Sacred Heart. Is there something else people celebrate in June? I mean, yes. I suppose it's pushed on us nonstop. Can't wait.
Yeah.
But yesterday, when I was talking about Memorial Day, and I was talking to a lot of people think veterans on Memorial Day when that's not really, it's always nice, but it's not the intention, right? The Memorial Day is for people that died in service to the country. But I said, listen, vets, we have our day. Listen, the gays got a whole fucking month. We got one day, right? We got one awesome day. But yeah, the gays get a whole month. And that's not including, there'll be like a transgender remembrance month or something.
Mm-hmm.
All the ones that have, gone away. SBZ for 5. I'm sick and tired of these at people controlling our beloved video game industry. Please do what you can to fight them with your wallet. Stitch, remember some months. Today's a good day to remember those that gave their lives for this country. Hail 199.
Hail.
John Q Ghost with a $5
John Q Ghost.
sticker.
How you doing, man?
What's
Good
up?
to see you,
Mr. Ghost.
I want to give a shout out to the Park Hopping crew. They Chris and Jay have a video on Instagram that got 1.3 million views. They got some early access to the DreamWorks land over at Universal, and 1.3 million views now at the time of us recording this, and it's only in a few days. So that's good stuff right there. So hopefully more content to come. They had a good stream yesterday from Universal. And I think you might see us again. I'll be back in Orlando later this week. We may have a special guest hanging out with us at Universal. So we'll see.
P-Lol for 199. Put Mel Gibson in this movie. Money is guaranteed.
1,000%.
A lot of people would love to see that. Well, no one in Hollywood would like to see that. But in terms of fans, a lot of people would love to see that. And we've got a good audience over on Rumble today, by the way. Mm-hmm. Just... General Duality for $2. Just had a Ryan moment at Cracker Barrel. I told them their hash browns suck, and it's stupid that eggs aren't a side. Fuck Cracker Barrel. I'm never eating there again. Thank you, General Duality. I support meltdowns at restaurants. But we do have a good audience. We got 700 people over there. I don't even know if we're promoted anywhere, if it's just a good audience. Not sure.
That's pretty awesome.
We appreciate it. It is promoted. It's one of the picks. So shout out.
I appeared on the stream a little late. Can anyone tell me what happened with the Wolverine game?
The narrative director for Insomniac, who's working on the game, said, you know what? We need to do everything we can to push the gay agenda in every fucking game. That's kind of
it's bad. So if you go back about probably about 20 minutes, you'll see our coverage of it. But it's really bad. It's like this game is DOA. It's the definition of DOA. Never mess with people that serve you food. That's my stance on it right there. Ryan has bad fucking karma anyway, so that's like they're trained to when Ryan comes in there, they already know he's going to be angry. I do not complain to my waiter, and ever. I never complain to my waiter because in my mind, and I used this example last night on something else, but I'll use it now. But like in my mind, if I complain to my waiter, that they're gonna get me next time. You know what I mean? If I piss them off, they're gonna spit in my food or something like that.
Someone needs to hold these fucks accountable. And if all you guys are too pussies to do it, I'll fucking do it. All right?
No, fuck that.
I don't care.
It's like the spider that you try to kill and he gets away and you can't sleep because you know that spider is gonna come back and murder your whole fucking family. Like that's what you can't piss off the waiter because eventually that waiter will get you. I don't piss off the waiters. I don't piss off the waiters.
Well, I don't piss them off until they piss me off.
Respect the food working man.
I don't just randomly do this. It's only if they're a fucking piece of shit is when I get upset.
Nah, fuck that. You handling my food.
You just want to give them
respect
a pass.
you.
I see it. You want to continue. Then the next person's going to get fucked up too.
I'm just telling you, I worked in food. I've worked in retail. I've worked in restaurants.
Oh, yeah. I worked on the cook line.
I know. I was a restaurant manager, kitchen manager. Some of the things I saw, I was like, damn, maybe I'm never eating anywhere again. Maybe I'm just going to eat at home for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it is like a jarring experience working in like food prep or restaurants and stuff.
Yes.
It's like, God damn.
I remember when
I mean, it fell on the ground, whatever. Like
5 second rule.
Put it back in the grill for 2 minutes, flip it around.
5 second rule is a real thing. It's like that movie Waiting. Waiting is legit.
It depends what it is, right? Like if it's if you spill somebody's fries or something, oh, fucking reach in the basket, get more. But if it's a burger or a steak or something,
you're
like
cooking that
time,
shit.
you're picking that shit right back up. You're fucking wiping it off. You're throwing it back on the grill, like 30 seconds each side. You put it back on the plate, 100%.
Yeah.
Where is this? Deadly Raver for 10. A Wolverine game should be brain dead. Simple. Trash mobs, sick moves, combos, little bit of stealth, member berries. Don't screw up the storyline. Iron out the glitches. Boom. Money. English Batchers, respect and happy Memorial Day all. Thanks, G&G, for what you do. Please don't stop. We'll try not to stop. Sid Dave for 2. Furiosa is a decent movie. It's not woke.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Recommendation. Gage Grosskreutz missing bicep for 5. F's in the chat for all the people who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Thank you, Gage.
Yep.
Appreciate the sentiments.
Respect.
Kellen KMK for 5. Late to the stream. Happy Memorial Day. Remember the fallen. Thank you, Kellen. And with that, we're all caught up.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Actually, over on Rumble, one more. Naggardnall for 5. Speaking of the fig word, me, Mo Zamboni, ABF, Hayden Wayne, and Drunken Sailor did a deep dive into the definition of F slurs. I almost like just read right through it on Urban Dictionary last night. It was a great time. Shout out to the GCA.
Hail to the GCA. What's up, Naggardnall?
And Taker for 2. What is an example of a gay game mechanic? Have you played Last of Us Part 2?
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
Press X to scissor. Yeah.
And is that it?
That's it.
We are caught up, ladies and gentlemen. So today, a very busy day. I've got the Cobra Cast where I'll react to Tim Pool's interview with President Trump. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then we've got Mario Kart. Now, we were supposed to try to do Party Animals tonight, but I just had a really busy week, and I forgot to plan all of that out. So we're going to do Party Animals next Monday, more than likely. So, yeah. So it's going to be fun. So Mario Kart after Cobra Cast, and that's about it. What do you got going on, Ryan? A day full of positivity from you?
Maybe I'll see about doing some burgers or hot dogs or something like that today. I don't know.
Okay.
Make a couple of videos. But yeah.
All right. There we go. Let's see.
These Webos for 5. I put pork on a Muslim dude's pizza because he threw a breadstick at me. Hope you survived to tell the tale.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats, for the support. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you smash that melee button, like the video. Hope you have a great Memorial Day, and pay your respects to the fallen. And we'll see you tonight for Cobra Cast. So, Ryan, any other positive words to leave us with?
Nope. Memorial Day. Remember it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.